my friends, and welcome to our Let's Play Empyrion Galactic Survival episode number 19, I think we're at now. Wow, already episode 19, almost 20 episodes of this marvelous series. I guess with episode 0 we are up to 20 already. This is crazy. So, I have really good news to report. I've made a lot of progress since episode 18 and 19, and I'll discuss all that here. But I just wanted to give sort of a preface to say that number one, we're not really going to have any goals here today, so to speak. This is going to be more of a tour video and just letting you know all the updates that have happened here on my side and in my world, and as you'll see on our new server, which is really exciting. Number two, I just want to bring everybody up to speed on what we're running here. So we are, because I know my videos are a little behind sometimes on where we're at with the patches. So right now I'm running pre-alpha 5.4.20315. So that's, once we get in there and you start watching the video, you can understand where we're at and why it might be missing items or whatnot. The alpha actually has been announced. It's going to be released on April the 8th. If I'm not mistaken. So that's just around the corner, today being March the 29th. So yeah, and before I jump in here, I just want to say I woke up not that long ago, so if you hear me sipping on the coffee, I do apologize, but then again I don't, because I need my caffeine to function. Brain no work good without. So let's jump right in. I have some really exciting things to show you people. And as you'll notice here, we're running a server now. I'm running my own server, and I've got a couple of friends who are joining me on the game. Not today in this episode, but who have joined me and who may very well be joining me for future episodes. There is an episode on when we all got together and we first checked out this world, which I'll explain what world this is. It's ours there at the top, Omicron CMS. That is our new world. So you might be a little sad by the fact that, Terra is no longer, and neither is Menzases, but that one was retired anyway. But Omicron CMS, before I jump in, I guess I should explain the story here real quick. So I'm not sure how much I'm able to divulge here, or how much the friends who are joining me want me to talk about this, but I'll try and respect your anonymity as much as possible. AsmaBoy76, who has been commenting so graciously on all my videos and providing a wealth of information for all kinds of things, all topics pretty much, we decided to finally get together. We did that last Friday and had a really good time, played for hours, and what we actually ended up doing was taking his game world, since mine was not super advanced at that point. He's obviously got a way bigger head start. I think he said like 300 hours put in. So we took his game world, threw it up on a server, and as you can see, it always shows up at the top of the list. That's your server, if you have one. And we hopped in there. We looked around. Again, I captured all this stuff, but I'm not sure. I'll have to double check with them to see if it's okay if I make a video on that stuff. But since I'm alone today, then I'm going to go in and check it out. But we had a good time. We really had fun, and I love his world. I love his creations and his creative abilities in general. So we decided to make that world our server. And I don't want to blab away too much here, so let's just go ahead and connect to the server, and I'll talk while I show you stuff. You can have some nice visual eye candy. You might recognize this base, and this is something I was working on before I went to bed last night, so it might seem a little unfinished. I was messing around with the lights, made everything red. It's a red light district in here. I don't know why it sounds like a dance club, but it's a red light district. So this base, actually, you may or may not recognize it. Here, let me give you a look from the outside. So anybody who has seen the previous series that I started on EGS, this was my base. This was the Menzases base, basically. and it was real good. Of course, I'm getting attacked right away. If it's not a plant monster, it's these Otugs. Get out of here, Otug. I actually honestly rather deal with these guys than plant monsters. But anyway, this is the Menzases base, and it is close to my heart, which is why I imported it here. I did figure out how to use the blueprint system here thanks to Asmaboy, aka Crackadamus. Um, Again, I'm not sure if I'm able to reveal your actual names. We go by first name on a first name basis when we're playing the game, but obviously I want to respect everyone's anonymity, so I'll make sure to check that with them before I reveal anyone's true name, given birth name. But yeah, so I figured out how to use the blueprints thing. I printed out. Here's all my creations, by the way. There's the Ass Kickers Incorporated, The Office. In other words, there's Menzases right there, which I printed. Horrible thumbnail on that one. I got a small base that I had on Aestus. I got a cruiser, which I'm eventually going to rebuild. There's my garbage can. There's that boxy one I was using in the series. The Pooper Scooper is a really cool creation that I hope to show you here in a moment. I'm going to die from running out of oxygen. I want to show you this Pooper Scooper because it is really cool. Something that I'm just going to refer to you as Crackadamus from now on because that's what your name is. So, Crackadamus, aka Asmaboy76, came up with this Pooper Scooper concept for a small vessel, and it's basically like a portable scaffolding. It's very cool. It's like a floating platform. You can pull it up to your base or whatever you're working on and work with ease rather than having to reach or stretch or anything like that. It's a really cool machine. I like it. There's my fighter from, I believe yeah, that was from the previous world. Of course, I wait till the last second to do these things. I don't even remember where the oxygen is in this place. Over here, right? There we go. Come on. Oh, crap. There's nothing in it. That's not good. Don't die like this. Not like this. Not like this. No. Horrible. What a way to start a video. Alright, I think that makes like death number 20 something at this point. Some of these other guys I'm playing with, I don't think have any deaths, or maybe like one or two. And I'm like easily a couple dozen. And if you watch the series, you'll understand why. So, let's spawn back at the medic station here. Fill up while I'm here. Oh, gotta put the helmet on. Fill up the oxygen too, just to have it. It's for next time, which I'll need to fill up as well. I'm on Omicron right now, by the way, so that's why I can't breathe the oxygen, the atmosphere. I've never actually started a game on Omicron. Hey, I thought these things disappeared when you looted them. Now, it'll go away after a while. The decay is fairly low on this server. So yeah, oh yes, and if you're wondering, I intentionally spoiled some food so that I could make some growing plots. So don't think I'm neglecting my grub. Not this time anyway. So, put this in here real quick. So again, we had a really good time, myself, Crackadamus, and another friend of mine named X. We had some fun together. We explored things, we leveled up. My friend X actually leveled really fast. Within, I don't know, maybe an hour or two, he was already up to level 10, like he was leveling up super quick. He had to go, unfortunately, hasn't been back on, but wow, that disappeared pretty quick. But hopefully he'll be back on to join us for some more fun. But me and Crackadamus are going to continue this world. We're going to keep building on it. But yeah, I don't want to take too much time fiddling around here with little things. We're already 10 minutes in, so yeah, where's my oxygen? Did I even bring any here? I'm gonna have to go raid some at Crackadamus's house. Okay, so since you may not have been exposed to this world, exposed, make it sound like a disease. I guess in many ways it was, but I'll give you a quick tour of this base. There's really not a whole lot to it. I kind of rather this one though over the office just because it was my first creation. But here, let me show you around a little bit. I should really be harvesting this to get XP. I think I'm at level 15 or 16. Yeah, almost 16. So there's the garden. Here is the kitchen and lounging area. Everything's connected, so that will go around, whip around. I'll show you that. That leads to the loo. Here, this leads up to the roof where I park my vehicles usually. Here's the main area with the fridges and food processors and constructors. And as you can see, that's the old model of the advanced constructor. I'm going to leave it as is because it's nice and compact. Nice fat ass cargo box serving no purpose. Over here I had my fuel tanks and generators. I suppose I really don't need two of these. They're just wasting power for nothing. Here I had an O2 generator, hydrogen generator, and water purifier. But where I dropped this base down, which was one of the only flat places I could put it down, there was no water around here, so this room's kind of useless. I'll eventually do something with that, but anyway, no big deal. Here's the medic station, oxygen. Over here's the shitter. It's where I do the business, and then I rinse, and then I repeat. And as I said, it just whips around here and goes back into the common area. So that's pretty much that for the inside of the base. I can show you the roof. I do have some turrets up here. There's the pooper scooper. And as you can see, you know, you can imagine if you play AGS how awesome this would be when you're building stuff. To be able to, you know, float this thing next to whatever you're building. And it's portable scaffolding, as I said, so it's really cool. Really like that design. There's some turrets. I don't think there's anything around here. Actually, I just realized that they have no ammo. There's no ammo box in here because that was before. These things were automatic and didn't need ammo at the time, so I'm going to make sure to add, note to self, add ammo box because these things are useless otherwise. There's 4 turrets up here. I think there's one of each. Yeah. A few antennas. It's again, it's kind of like my other place. It's industrial. And it's a factory. We make stuff here that kills aliens. Yeah. Okay, so let's go check out Crackadamus's house, which is not too far. I made sure to build my bases in the general vicinity so that I could lower his property value as much as possible. It's something we joke around about all the time. You can see it's over there, though. We're going to go have a look. This is Homicron. Homicron. Not Omicron, but Homicron. This is a really cool base, actually. This is his main base, which I will show off here in a moment for him. One thing I really like about his SVs is he puts a spotlight on the bottom, so you can at night you can easily see where you're landing. Very cool idea that I'm going to steal eventually when I make my new small vessel. And if you've watched this series, you know how terrible I am with losing my small vessels and ships in general, and pretty much everything. So here is kind of a landing pad area. Not much to it. TV, picnic table, computer for looking up the pornos. Let's see what else. I think that's it for this area. Here's where he put his water purifier and what is that? Hydrogen, H2O2 generator. Here's where you actually enter the base. And if you didn't notice, this is all underground, underwater. So he did a lot of digging. And you can check him out. Again, I'm not sure if you want me to say this or not, Asthma Boy, but if you guys want to check him out on Steam, He is Crackadamus, and he has some really cool screenshots and stuff that you can have a look at. But yeah, look at all the digging he had to do and to get this underwater and underground. I mean, you'll see it once we get inside. A lot of work went into this, so very cool. Not sure I've been in there yet. What is that? Why do I not recognize that? Anyway, let's hop inside and have a look. You're greeted with a lot of artillery here. Oh, there's the oxygen station. I didn't even notice where it was. Alright. Let's go down and have a look. Let's go down further. Yeah, it does go down further. Okay. So there's quite a few things to look at here. So here's the first floor that we can get off on. 2 constructors, lots of cargo boxes. Don't remember what's over here though. Okay. This looks like a secondary means of getting into the main area. Really like this tunnel. Really like this tunnel design. Very cool. Hope I don't forget anything. I want to make sure to cover every square inch of this base. Here's the garden and more oxygen. There's the core and the fuel tanks. Wow, you got lots of fuel tanks in here, man. I suppose that way you never run out. There's the ammo box, which I need to put up in my other base. Nice garden there. Another garden on the other side. This is where the party happens. This is the rave zone. This is where I need to go. I'll bring the E. No, come on. I don't do that stuff. It does me. Yeah. Look at all the digging, though, he had to do. Like, amazing. Such a patient dude. I don't think I could have done this. Not to this extent, so... Better hope you never have to move this base, because that's not going to carry over, but... Nonetheless, let's go down the nice tunnel here. More oxygen. Man, you really like your oxygen. But here is, you know, lounging area. What's he got over here? Nice bathroom. Smells funny in there. He eats a lot of vegetables. Lots of canned goods. Wow, you're really afraid of an invasion of some sort. Better to be safe than sorry, I suppose. Oh, and here's where you can actually land your vessel. This is really cool. So the landing pad goes straight into the home. Really liking that. Just really cool design all around. Crackadamus went to the Empyrion Architectural School, and if you look at my designs, it's clear that I did not. So I'm all about utility. He's all about aesthetics. We meet in the middle somewhere, hopefully. And I'd love to do a project at some point, collaborate on a project with these two guys, because yeah, that would be fun. We all have different styles and things to bring to the game. This is what we were looking at from up there, and I think I covered everything. Just gonna go one last time to make sure I didn't miss anything important. I want to do your base justice here, my friend, so forgive me if I do forget something, though. I think we went in there. Yeah, I think that's it. Maybe over here? Did I go over here? Oh yeah, that's the other way to get there. Okay. So I think we went over everything. Lots of goodies in here that I can come steal when he's not looking. Just kidding. Or am I? Actually, I stole from you enough, so to get my first base started, and the rest I'm going to farm so that I don't deplete all of his resources. But yeah, this is again, this is Crackadamus's main building here, the main base, and I like it. It's on Omicron, as you can see, and then my base is over there. I'm going to rename my base so that I don't have to keep saying men's asses. That's not really a good name for it anyway. All things to come. But that is Omicron. So now I'm going to blast off and head back to Akua. And then from Akua I can show you our other two bases which we have set up. And those are presently the only two planets that we have anything on. Eventually we're going to expand and have, you know, a base probably on all the planets, I would imagine. Before Alpha, probably not, but we'll try. Who knows? I've dropped down the two bases that I have on Blueprint, so if we do make another base, or if I make another base on another planet, it's going to have to be a new design, so it may take some time. But here we're going to Crackadamus's capital vessel, and maybe I'll wait before I get closer to it before I massacre the name. It's a Spanish name based on a movie, Sovecito. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, but I think that's how it's pronounced, Sovecito. It's an inside joke that no one will get unless you see a movie called Mi Vida Loca, which is a very funny movie, by the way. That Ernesto, he doesn't mess around. Okay, so here we are at the Sovecito. This is Crackadamus's capital vessel, as I said. Lots of room to park here. There was another, oh shoot, that's true, I totally forgot. There was another small vessel in here, but I had a glitch when I was re-entering, and the pooper scooper kind of, I fell out of it, and it was floating, and it was going to crash, so I ran back or floated, I should say, as fast as I could, grabbed the other small vessel that was in here, raced back, grabbed the Sovecito, the pooper scooper, land it, float back up, grab the other one, land that one, so the other small vessel's sitting somewhere on Omicron right now. It's safe, it's just, well, unless drones have killed it by now, but I somehow managed to save both vehicles, and it's probably because they're not mine. If they were mine, they would have both crashed and burned fairly quickly, so. This is the Sovecito. It's a very cool design, just like all of his other stuff. There's the landing bay, or the what have you. Gravity generator. Fuel tanks, RCS. And as we enter here, one thing that he does that I started doing as well is I'll leave my ships powered on, but I'll just turn off the propulsion. I still need to group mine, but it looks something like this. And when you get out of your ship, whether it's a CV or an SV, you just deactivate the propulsion, and that will save a lot of power. And you can basically just leave everything else on. And that way there you're sure that your ship's not going to move. So, there's the bathroom. There's the fridges and food processor, another garden here. Constructor, living area. And that's it for this floor. It's got a really homey feel to it, homie. Homey feel, homie. This will drop you into the vacuum of space, be warned. It's kind of like the CV's laying an egg when you come out of that, and the egg is you. Here is the cockpit, or the bridge, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, very cool ship. The Suavecito is pimpin', I must say. Not gonna lie. So let's turn the propulsion back on. Go into our third person view. Let's set our destination for the Akuan orbit. I noticed some of you, I think Crackadamus, you pronounce it Aqua. Whoops. Did I set? Yeah, I did set that. Okay. I've always just pronounced it Akua, but I suppose it doesn't really matter as long as we're referring to the same thing. Come on now. I am flying towards it. Hyperdrive, go. So here we are back in the Akuan system. I'm gonna head on back. One thing that I started doing since I was reminded a few times to leave the CV in space and don't bring it down to the planet. This thing doesn't even have any landing gear, so I did bring it down to the planet a couple times and kind of, I'm sure, even though this is a copy of his world, I'm sure, Crackadamus, you were reeling in horror when I did that. Really hard to park it without it moving, so I actually put it in the water. So I'm sure when he first saw that, he had a heart attack. But it's safe and it's fine, and we repaired it. Well, I guess he did. And everything's good. So around 2,000 meters is a good place to park. And then take your SV from there. Stop moving, you. Okay, so again, turning off the propulsion to make sure it doesn't move. Save a little bit of power. Does that save power? It must, right? Didn't really see anything drop here, but whatever. I guess it's more the fact that you don't want your CV to move while you're gone. So let's get back to Akua, the old familiar place. I'm gonna take the pooper. Well, I guess I don't have a choice anymore. Take the pooper scooper down in case I need to do any. Whoops! I guess I left it on. The SVs too. You want to generally. Oh, there's a base. Space base. Closer than I thought. Generally, yeah, with the SV as well, you want to make sure you turn your propulsion on so it doesn't move. So I've got two bases to show you here. Quick tour, and then we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it good because this video is already getting on, and I don't want it to be too long. Where are we here? Ah, we're not that far away this time. Good. Good, 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 good. So there you have it. You'll recognize, maybe you'll recognize, I guess I did a lot of work to it, so you might not recognize it, but that is the office over there. That is Ass Kickers Incorporated on the right, or aka the office, and then the Steel Villa, which is Crackadamus' beautiful creation. And my office building is kind of an eyesore next to it. He went old school, I went capitalist, consumerist, you know. And, you know, as we said, we joke around that it's lowering his property value. Very cool. So this part here is in construction as far as I know. He's still building this part out, but looks very cool. Looks awesome, dude. And then the archways here, I really like those. With the walkway leading all the way over. Is that supposed to be like that? I wonder. Maybe it is. I don't know. We were having some issues yesterday where there was some stuff that was missing, glitching out a little bit. So I'm not sure if that's what I'm seeing now or if that's actually the way it's designed. I don't recall. But anyway, let's land here. I'll use the shadow to help. Whoa, a little bit harder of a landing than I wanted. But we're here. We're safe and sound. Let's go have a look-see. I'm not going to show you the inside of this part because I don't want to spoil it, and there's really not much in there right now since it's under construction. We'll save that for another day, but there you see it from the outside with the walkway going all the way over here. Got two gardens going. see what was up here. I don't remember. This is the landing pad, I believe. Yeah, with two more of his ships. I can show you those real quick. What are they called? I don't remember. I do not recall the names of this SV. This is the Derpta Flyer. And this over here, this is probably my favorite one of his SVs other than the Pooper Scooper. That one looks cool too. I wish I could show you the other one, but it's on Omicron right now somewhere. This is the yes, the HMSV Perry Lewis 3, which he so graciously named after me. Thank you so much for that, Perry Lewis III. You can just call me Perry. Please don't call me that. Okay, let's go down. Let's have a look. Here's the fridges, food processors, all that basic stuff. This was like a landslide yesterday. It was all glitched out and it looked like the ground had completely covered it, but I could still go in. It was really weird. Anyway, I had to log out and log back in. We also had a glitch in the constructor here where there was a metal piece stuck in the queue. And if ever that happens to you, don't try and take it out because it will crash your game, most likely. Crackadamus found a way to get rid of it by making something that used the secondary queue. So that's how you can sort of push that out of there. Hope that makes sense. Here we have, yeah, fuel, all that stuff. I think that's pretty much all there is to it. But very cool setup here. Obviously he's done more digging to get this going. How did you make that light hang like that? Interesting. Didn't know you could do that. Very cool, very cool. And then finally, I will give you a tour of the new office. Ass Kickers Inc. has been revamped a little bit, and I'm going to show you that. Then we'll call it a day. Apologies for this video not being as exciting as it could be or should be, but I thought it was important to give a tour of the new world before we start doing like adventures and stuff or projects. Bring everybody up to speed, because I did a lot of stuff here and which didn't get captured. So a sort of a link, I guess, a link video or a connection video was in order. So here's the new office. I did put this in last night so that I can park all my ships in here. This is kind of a ship storage area. I'm going to park this guy right here. And I do have a spot here where I can go get some purified water. There's an O2 generator, O2H2 generator. Just hop in and loot it, which I might as well do now while I'm here. Should bring some of this oxygen over to Omicron, my Omicron base. So going up the stairs, you should recognize it from here, which is all pretty much the same. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, this area here, as you'll recall, this was my four-colored rooms with the white room with the black curtains, which is no longer. I know it's sad, but when I had the idea of an underground sort of underwater storage for ships, I didn't look back, and I didn't really want to recreate those colored rooms. There's really no point. It wasn't serving a purpose. Whereas this huge storage area, I can fill this up, and that's the goal, is to fill this up with all kinds of cool creations and ships and hover vessels and all that fun stuff. So that's the idea here, and I love the fact that it's so opened up and huge in the basement now. It's going to be very useful. But from here on, nothing has really changed. I did update the windows. I put in some 2x2 windows here so that there's less seams. Recommended to me by Crackadamus, and I actually really like the look of it. It completes the look of the office. So everything else is pretty much the same. I did move the food processor. I put it up on the ceiling here, which we laugh at sometimes. But it's utilitarian. It serves a purpose. It's not, as I said, I'm more focused on utility whereas he's more focused on aesthetics. And then we meet somewhere in the middle. I mean, obviously his stuff is utilitarian as well, but clearly I've set my things up to be practical rather than aesthetically pleasing. But that may change. I may make some updates to this eventually. I may make another base completely. I'm not sure. But everything else should be the same, and everybody who's watching should recognize this part of it. Nothing has really changed here other than the windows. So there you have it. That's where we're at with our new world, our new server. Um, Hope you enjoyed the tour of it, and I hope that you'll continue to join me in this series. And next time for episode 20, when hopefully we're going to be able to get together. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that episode. I might rewind a bit and make a compilation of the first time we got in this world and kind of show you a behind the scenes of how we got to this point. I might do something new completely. I'm not sure. But now at least everybody's up to speed. You know where we're at, what we're doing. Um, look forward to some more creations and collaborations on stuff. Not sure exactly what we're going to do yet, but it's bound to be exciting. And then with Alpha just around the corner, well, that's going to open up a whole other world of possibilities for us to do. And for anybody who's not familiar, there's a whole bunch of additional blocks here that we can play with until Alpha comes out. Unfortunately, these can't be colored. So stuff like, let me see, I suppose some of this, like the hull quarter round invisible, you can't color it. You can use it, which I did use, and obviously he's used it quite a bit. But you can't color them, unfortunately, yet. They just put those in before Alpha so we could play around with them. But there you have it. I mean, that's our new world, and this is where we're going to be playing from now on. And as you can see, that's why I said he's got a leg up on me as far as his world development. So I figured I'll take the creations that I enjoyed making and bring them over to this world. I wasn't, necessarily attached to the world, more my creations. So I brought those over here. I'm going to continue to import some of them, a couple small vessels, maybe my capital vessel, I'm not sure. But we're going to continue to build on this world and expand it, and hopefully, we'll come up with all kinds of cool things to create and whatnot. So there you have it, folks. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and again, I hope you'll tune in next time for episode number 20. Take care, good luck in all your adventures, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.